and the tree repel the monkey.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of We Talking About. Today we're talking about episode 4, season 2 of iZombie.
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 What are your thoughts? When did you watch it? Is it fresh in your
I
head?
watched it today about 4 hours ago.
Okay, pretty similar to me.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty neutral on this episode.
This episode, again, nothing jumped out and grabbed me. I didn't have any moments where I was like, that right there, that's so good.
Yeah, where should we start?
So how does this episode opens with kids walking and they find a gun?
Yeah, I was going to say, okay. So I just have it chronologically as always. Kids find a gun.
I thought like something about that because like it happens and then like nothing comes of it for a long time.
Yes.
So like you're like, well, something is gonna happen with that. That was clearly relevant to something, and like it just it was like a waiting game for like when is that gonna are you gonna do that already? Come on, you're like making me wait.
I actually thought it was kind of mature of them to show something like that and then have it not be a thing, right?
Well, like not that like like he shoots the bottle and it kills a woman or something like.
Because I thought because every other like like pre-title sequence has either been like part of the murder or like part of the thing or whatever for that
directly
week.
tied to the thing you see moments later.
And this like at some point in like the middle they say like, well, the gun's still missing, and it did kind of make. I guess it was sort of like a letdown to just have the mom come in and be like, I have a gun in this bag, can you please?
I knew exactly what that was when she came in too.
Yeah,
I was like, are you kidding me? This is it.
Yeah, I guess it's a letdown. I liked that it was left out there as like a looming thing to make you think about things that are happening or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it could have been done a little better or something, or like cut back to them when like the mom finds them with the gun. Like give us some
right, bridge that
something.
in some way. Sure.
But maybe that was their big reveal and they didn't want that. It's hard to say with some people what they're actually going for.
Yeah, it's true. I was gonna say I don't know what they wanted that to be, because were there red herrings about a gun or a kid or anything?
The mother had red hair. Could that be?
No, like, when there's a thing where like they put something out there as if that's going to be this, and then they later it's not or
my
something.
thought was I think they wanted it to say, and it never explained it, was the boyfriend of the girl who was strangled to death. You'll find that out later, or if you already watch, you know that now. So a woman was strangled to death, and her boyfriend said he was with his boss. The boss was his alibi. But then later, they go, no, the boss got a speeding ticket. He wasn't really with him.
Right.
And I think they wanted you to think he robbed the bank and he killed her, or he robbed the Quickie Mart and killed her. Because they never said anything like, why did that guy commit perjury? What was he doing? Where was he if he wasn't with his boss? They never said any of that stuff. And the way they played up the guy like coming up to Liv going, your song was good. I just want you to know something.
Yeah.
I'm like pearled ivory, or whatever the fuck he said, some weird stupid shit. They wanted you to think Liv was in danger and he was the bad guy.
Totally on that part, but you've like filled in the crucial missing detail that we were supposed to think that at least one of them was the convenience store robber.
Yeah.
From whatever. I guess that sucks that I missed that. I guess
it wasn't done very well.
I guess a lot of people might have missed it though.
I'm sure.
It would have been bad.
It's not that you miss things if people don't do things properly. This show is all about hammering you in the face with stupid details that are clearly obvious, but then the things that you need to know are like.
I do not look for subtlety, but there have been a few times where it's like there's more than one dead person, and they're like, well, Robert didn't have this. And I'm like, is Robert the guy or the other guy? Like, is he the person originally that they found? Did she eat his brain or the other guy's brain? And I'm all confused.
And I'm just going to jump around here. Things are dumb in this episode. So you have the new henchman who doesn't talk.
And he writes it on the phone.
What the fuck is up with him? Do we know anything about him? How weird is that? It just seems like a weird, like kitschy thing just to throw in just for fun.
I don't know if Blaine like cut his tongue out or something, or how that would work.
Did he do that?
They didn't show. I was gonna say like they didn't show anything. We might find out later. I don't know.
There's been a lot of I feel like there's been at least 2 other things where I'm like, I'm sure they'll fill it in later, and then they never would go back and.
And then we just forget about it forever.
But my prediction, because they're just going for like weird character bullshit, is the next henchman after this mute one dies. It's gonna be those 2 weird twins from Georgia.
The ATL twins.
The ATL twins, yeah.
Can we do that?
That's the thing.
Oh goddamn! All right, because there was a kid that reminded me of like Riff Raff for some reason, for no good reason or whatever. At the end when Major's buying drugs and the dude was like something about the look on his face was twisted up in this weird clown-looking thing. Oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah, I love how I just played out like, give him some for free. Give me the head crushers or whatever the fuck he calls them.
He was not Jamaican.
Yeah, he played off as a fake Jamaican in my head.
He's like, oh, this cat needs something fun. He was doing like that or whatever. It was very weird drug like.
I
talking.
pictured the back alley version of Noel Fielding doing like the Cockney hey, some headbangers, oi.
Oi, it was Mickey. Oi.
But yeah, so like I don't know.
So like a lot did happen in this episode. A lot of like subplots and B plots or whatever.
Yeah.
We can just maybe knock out the main thing.
So
right?
what's the girl's name? Not Priscilla.
Lacey.
No, that's not the one I'm talking
The dead
about.
girl?
No. What's the
Peyton?
Peyton. So Peyton is back, and Peyton is heading that task force, and she meets up with fucking Fuckerface.
Well, okay. So like Liv goes to Peyton when she's doing her like dance aerobics class or whatever, and says, "Thanks for the cake. Here's some juice."
It meant the world to me. You're gonna make me spill the juice.
Peyton said something like, while I was gone, I had the opportunity to put myself in your shoes, and I was like, is she a zombie or something like that? 'Cause that's my like immediate go-to. But they kind of make up, and it's okay, and everything is like fine.
Yeah, and for some reason she moves in with Major.
That's a whole.
That's super weird.
When is it on camera that he says she can stay there?
I don't think so.
Okay, because that comes up later.
It didn't come up with me. I didn't notice it.
I did not. I feel like I would have noticed that.
So they're staying there. That's weird. But what I was gonna say is you have what's zombie face guy's name?
Blaine.
So Blaine is called in, and he gives up everything because it behooves him because he can try to get rid of his competition.
Do you think this was part of his plan all along when he said to like the DA or the like the head guy, you want to? You have to launch this investigation against Stacy?
I would imagine it was all him starting this, or at least he wanted it. I don't know if he...
Because there's someone else, or was that Peyton, or was that someone else? There's like someone, leading the FBI task force for like rich men that are being targeted. Was that the other woman that showed up?
I think that's the other person.
Yes. So like, so that's going on, but meanwhile, throughout the whole episode, Peyton's also interviewing people, trying to get them to give up the boss, Stacy Boss? Is his name Stacy Boss?
I think so.
That's such a... Why is his name Boss?
Because it's bad.
But
you also have all Blaine's, Major's killing off a lot of his clients.
I loved that. I loved that.
Cool.
I loved that little sequence where he was like, 2 of my customers are missing, blah, 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 blah,
That's 50 G's.
I don't think there's an emoji that can properly capture the feeling I feel from losing 50 grand, like 50K a month or whatever he said.
No, that's a substantial loss.
Okay, we're good. Oh, it shows that he knows what, not that Major's doing it, but he knows what Major's doing and the fact that it's impacting his business in real time or whatever. And that Major is killing these people who are customers of Blaine. It's all lining up okay.
Because presumably every zombie on Earth is a customer of Blaine.
Well, all the zombies on the Max Rager list are probably due to Blaine or due to something in that area, right? Whatever.
He gets high potentially for the last time. Finally goes to Liv for help.
Yeah, he shows up and says, so there was something cool that happened before that.
Losing the dog.
What?
He lost his dog.
So, yeah, well, so...
Minor.
I love that the dog's name is Minor. Did you love that?
No.
I loved that. That was great.
Why do you love that?
Because he's Major, and that's Minor. It's Major and Minor.
I think that's so bad.
Boppity boo.
I guess it goes directly with the theme of the show of like names that are like spot on.
Well, because he didn't name it, Ravi named it.
Yeah.
And Major was even like, we're not calling it that, and then it caught on or whatever. So it wasn't like Major was like, I'm gonna call him Minor because I'm Major for no reason. Like my name makes no sense. Let's have a dog's name. It wasn't that bad. It was like Ravi doing it, which is like cheeky and like
he is cheeky.
Was okay with that, but Liv goes to talk to Major and gives a big speech about the whole thing. She barges in back after him. She talks about all these things.
Because the country singer's mind is gone to her.
But she says this is all me for some reason, which I thought was weird.
It's all always her.
He says, like, who am I talking to? Whose brain did you eat this time or whatever and all that stuff. Because she has a history of coming over and professing her continued love for him while on some brain.
She has a decent singing voice, side note.
Yeah, if we want to, we're jumping around a lot. But,
and this episode has I feel like there's no, reason to go through the plot of the story on this one. It's just
the plot jumped around a lot,
What did we learn this episode?
Exactly. And I learned that she might either play guitar or have a decent guitar coach. Because those finger positions
like she was playing.
were good. And she was changing her hand position at a, good time to do that for that song. I didn't, analyze it, but just my casual observance as a person who plays guitar. I was like, oh, wow. At first I was like, well, they just showed her how to make a G chord. But then while she's doing the song later, her hands are actually changing. And I was like, oh, fucking A. I always love when that happens because in a lot of things, they like teach the person one chord or like nothing, and then they just cut away as soon as like the real playing starts or whatever.
I often wonder how much coaching goes into things like that are real, because like this is real enough. It's on a network show.
Yeah.
Do they put this person like, all right, so 3 hours a day for the next 2 weeks you're gonna be with this guy? I don't know how to do that. Like I always wonder how much things go into that. Like when they're teaching like person how to dance or how to do military stuff, or like you're a cop now, you got to learn how to proper stance. You're walking, you're gonna do this. You're never back to the window. Like I wonder how much of that actually goes into it, and how much was like, nah, they're fine.
Do you think on like this show any of that happens?
I wonder.
I wonder too, because
I
that's
wonder
hilarious.
about a lot of shows.
Yeah. For this show, I feel like not a lot. I feel like she probably already could play guitar or something.
Possibly.
I don't. She's done a lot of different things, I guess, though. I don't know. And like, I'm not a like artist, or I'm not like whatever the fuck else she's been. So I don't know if like her like if like in episode 3 was she holding the brush right while she was painting? I don't know. I don't think she was really painting though, right? Like.
No. I always one always is a giveaway for me is like when someone's skateboarding in a thing and like they're standing just like totally upright and sideways. You can tell that someone from off screen just pushed them into the frame.
Yes, yes.
So like that's my like thing where I'm like I don't know how much is in this, because like in some movies I'm like that guy skates, or like they put a board in his hand for a long enough amount of time that he's got some semblance.
I'll never forget like Tom Green in that one movie is like skating in the intro or whatever. And I was like, that's not really him. And then they cut to like another shot where it's like his like top to bottom, like nothing cut out. And I'm like, he wasn't doing those stunts before, but this is actually he's actually skateboarding.
I think he actually.
I think he actually skates.
I think Tom actually skates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tom, I feel like he was like a skateboarder / rapper for a while.
Great story on Tom Green there.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Shia LaBeouf rapping, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
I've been aware of him rapping since he was like 12.
Oh, he just went on like Sway or something and did like a 5 Fingers of Death freestyle thing, and I heard it and it was not bad.
Yeah, he's been okay for a little while.
I didn't know that he rapped at all, and he can actually. I was like, holy shit, he can actually rap. I don't know how I feel about this.
He was on like David Letterman or something when he was like 12. Like, it was the first time I saw him.
Was rapping?
Yeah.
Wow. So for me, I was like, wait a minute, he raps, and then I was like, holy shit, he's not bad at rapping. Holy shit. That was the whole thing. I've never heard about anything else. Where were we?
What else happens in this episode?
So like Major's like getting high, he's fucking up, he's playing video games, he let the dog run away. The dog ran back to the park where he kills the guy.
That's always weird. That dog's
That's
legs
sad.
are 4 inches. I don't know if it could actually do that.
Oh, I just thought it was sad that the dog returned back there, because Major's like, oh fuck, about it or whatever.
No, that's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
I think how far away is this park?
I don't know. That's the whole thing's sort of weird. The dog's been chilling there for a while. I don't know why he would run out at the first opportunity.
But I found him on a missing pets thing. You'd think there'd be like, I don't know, like potentially a link to the other dude now. Like they know he was running with his dog. You'd think his family might want his dog or something. So I was like, is this going to be the nail in the coffin that gets Major? Like,
I wonder.
But no, it didn't appear that he did anything.
It could still show up. What is a missing pets thing? Doesn't that take time to happen? Wasn't the dog missing that day?
Well, missing pet site to me, like I infer the most logical scenario was that it's I find a dog, I posted on this, I found this missing pet thing. But most likely, you'd bring it to a pound or something, and a rich guy's dog probably has a chip in it. So I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because these targets are mostly rich, the ones that are Blaine's customers.
They're only rich, yeah.
Yeah, like, I assume there's some people on the list who are not Blaine's customers and not rich or whatever, but who cares about the poor people? We talked about Blaine dishing everything about Stacy Boss.
Yeah, in shocking detail. And it looks like Peyton likes him now.
I loved that. That's so dumb.
I think it's a combo of good dumb things, because Peyton and him could totally end up in a little relationship, and then Liv will find out. Yep. And then you also have Liv and Major in the same house with the redhead that he's hooking up with.
Yep.
Right now, at the end of this episode, and I'm like, is she gonna pan back? Like, are you gonna see her watching them? Like, what's gonna happen? Because he texted her for a booty call. So if she goes to get like a drink in the kitchen and he's sitting on the couch, she'll be like, "Oh, how did you get in?"
Right. And does she know that Major was a person for like she does know, but the person Gilda is pretending to be doesn't know that Major and Liv are a thing. So That was very much, I don't know if it's like WB style or whatever the fuck to me, but it just got so convoluted and crazy.
It's so ridiculous.
Like, Ravi's new chick, like, wanted to high-five him about Peyton being, like, a babe or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like...
I liked Ravi's reaction, like, I'm smart enough not to high-five that.
No. Yeah, and I was just like, fuck, I don't know what's going on anymore. It was so... Like, this episode was very heavy on that, like, oh, you did what? Wait, no. And there were, like, several rounds of speeches of, like, I've always loved you, but I didn't want to hurt you, and all these dumb things. Like, it was so... There's so much of whatever that is. What should we call that? What is that?
Bad faux drama.
Like, drama?
Because even the basis of this episode is a woman is found strangled, and she's a country dancer, blah, blah, blah. And it was just so much crap for it to end in a Scooby-Doo style with, like, and it was someone you didn't even see the whole time as the killer.
Right, so it was we should talk about that. So, like, when the woman came in with the gun, Clive is like, yeah, I'm doing something. Just talk to that guy. And then later they're, like, applauding that guy. Like,
yeah, you did something.
You cracked the case. And I always want to be like, that's weird. That's a random thing. Something like that. And I wonder if now Clive gets applause for putting the extra piece together or something, or how this works.
No, they don't like him.
They don't like him. It's weird.
Yeah.
But so, like, he puts together that, like, oh, the gun was found near where like the murder he's looking into was killed. Maybe it was that guy after he ditched the gun, went and like hid in this house, and then she came home, and that was the killer. But yeah, you've never seen that guy before. He's the guy. No. He's the guy that that they are manhunting the whole time.
Exactly.
But you've never seen him. You have no reason. I guess you have a reason to think maybe it was him, but that's weird.
It's just weird because there's no direct connection that you've seen. Like, it's all piece by piece things, and that works. Like, you can do that, and as long as they're not doing it in every episode, I'm fine with things like that. But it felt like I didn't get a good resolution to this episode. Like, it wasn't that guy. There was no fun thing. No one broke down in tears like, I just wanted to love her. And no. It was just like, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. She's dead. Sorry. What?
And it didn't segue in with anything else. It happened to segue in with something else that they showed us with the kids finding the gun, but it didn't really matter for anything with any other plots.
This episode was just a whole bunch of, like, let me throw out a bunch of things that can set up stuff for the rest of this like season or the next couple episodes. It didn't have much point.
I'm going through and finding stuff we haven't talked about yet.
Sure, what do you got on there?
Well, so there was the misdirect with the boss and his pregnant wife, and then she tries to give the fake testimony after.
Yeah, I thought there's a lot of bad fake testimonies in this show.
Right.
Like, aren't all these things crimes? Like, no one seems to get pursued.
Mean?
Well, like the wife saying, like, my husband has committed this murder, more or less.
Yeah.
She should go to jail for that.
Well, he says, ma'am, are you aware that giving false testimony is or whatever? Get the hell out of my office. Like, he says that.
Yeah. But there's, like, one of those every episode.
There's enough of it that you would... I mean, I think that just happens a lot, and that's what, if they prosecuted all of those, it would be this crazy, dumb, like, situation or something like that.
What the amount of tickets we give out?
I see what you're saying, though, where it's kind of like,
At the very least, a fine, something.
I think what he was doing was the equivalent of, like, is that your final answer? I want to remind you that perjury is punishable as a felony or something like that.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh. And he's like, okay, phone a friend, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're done. Or something like that's how I took it. That happens on a lot of these, like, copy shows or something like that. There's a new female cop.
Yeah, who's
hitting on Clive.
Yeah, she's interested. I like when she throws away that dude's candle. She's like, what the hell is this shit? Dropped in the garbage.
I know. I might like that character. I'm not sure why.
I feel like there's going to be an issue with her or something.
You think she's like a secret zombie agent or someone?
I never know.
She's something,
but
though,
there's
right?
no reason to just write a character in unless there's some reason,
Right, but she was like...
she's there for tension of some sort. Either she won't, like, live, or...
right.
Or she's actually working for Max Rager. Eventually she's going to try to kill Clive. That's my prediction.
She's going to try to kill Clive? Sure. Because she's like, I was hoping you could show me the ropes. And he's like, I don't know about the ropes. And he goes, exactly. So let me know the opposite of what you do, and I'll do that, or something. Like, cheeky, had a good banter. I'll take a rain check. You are going to buy them, though. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, smashing. Start smashing immediately. Yeah. We didn't touch on, we touched on, Major slept with Gilda. And they actually moved it from... Wait.
Yeah, they woke up at his house, or was that her house? Because it had to be.
Wait a minute.
If it's his house, either way,
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense because if you woke up at her house, Liv is there, and you would know that you're Liv's roommate. Like, what? And if it's his house, then Ravi should be like, "What's that girl?"
No. he left there to go to Ravi's. And he's like, sorry, I'm late. Whatever. I had to pick you up. And then Ravi says, well, I couldn't get a hold of you. So, and then the door opens and it's Liv. So they could have carpooled from Liv's house to get to.
They can't. There must be a bed at Max Rager or something.
You think that was a bed there?
It doesn't make any sense other way.
Okay.
And no one's thought of that. I guarantee it.
Because in my head, I was like, I had like similar thoughts, but it was like weird, like. Oh, like they didn't bang at that place. They took the party home to somewhere.
Yeah, my thought was just like,
her hair looks
perfect for someone who just slept.
That's TV or / movie hair.
I hate that shit.
She doesn't look fucked. She looks like she just did her hair and got in bed.
Yeah.
But he's his usual weird, like, I don't even know what to call it or something like that. But she's like, break me off a piece of that for breakfast, and he goes,
yeah,
whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, this might be.
All right, I'll make my own.
Yeah, I'll forage for myself. And then she tells him, go kill some zombies today, and he's like, yes, dear.
And we don't see him do that, so.
No, so he's being delinquent. We didn't talk about Gabriel.
Yeah, so here's something that we should have definitely clicked on. So they find the dude that made the original tainted batch of Utopium. I don't know why I never want to say that properly. So they find that dude, and he's now like a Jesus freak. Yep. I love that they beat him with a Bible.
Yeah.
Like a literal Bible thumping.
They thump his face with a Bible.
To get him to tell him how he did it. And for whatever reason, he's very resistant to let them know how he made it.
Yeah. And like, so as that's unfolding, I'm thinking, just tell him that, like, you need this to, like, because it's a cure, right? You want the thing for whatever. And then they do that. They weave that into the thing, too. So I'm like, this is weird. And he's like, I'll die before I tell you. I'm like, really? Like, what are you doing? This is crazy to me.
Yeah, very, very strange. So they torture him, they throw him in a coffin, they leave him in there. Eventually they open it up, they give him one more chance. He says still nothing, and they scratch him, turn him into a zombie. They put him back in and release him upon the world and say, you'll come back, bitch. You'll come back.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's dumb.
It's super dumb.
Fuck.
I'm not sure why you would risk all that.
Why let him out?
I guess he's not talking.
Well, the only reason I can think about letting him out is like hoping he'll go back and kill a family member or something, and he'd be like, "Oh no, I need to be cured. What have I done?" But it's very stupid.
No, that's what I think they're trying to get at. That, like, okay,
you could have locked him in the basement with like a child, and it would have done the same thing, and he would have had him
like staged it instead of letting it happen and hoping, because no
he
one
could just get shot.
Because he doesn't go back out and say like, okay, tail him, follow him, make sure whatever the fuck or something like that. Make sure that when he's ready, someone's there to lend a helping hand. It's like no, it's just like he'll find his way back. He'll go off and do something horrible.
He says something like "see you in 40 days" or something.
That's okay. So what I wrote down was Blaine casts Gabriel out of his sanctuary because it's like, and like Gabriel doesn't fit for like the name of the angel or whatever the fuck, but it was and I liked Blaine a lot in these sequences with the interrogation and the talking and all that other nonsense. But that's like a biblical reference to him going out there. I forget, what that hung off of, but he said like, you're going to be like this or whatever, and I'll see you in this long or something. Because there was someone wandered something, right, for a certain amount of days or something. The desert, one of those things. But yeah, that's a super bad move, super dumb.
It's also another huge like untied knot just floating around in the world. And he could be like Peyton, where we see him in 6 episodes, or we could see him again like tomorrow.
Yeah, the next episode could open with him being like, "Oh God, what have I done?
Yeah.
I have to go back."
I just think the idea that he could just die out there, like,
and then you would never know.
Exactly, and you lose everything. Foolish, and Blaine's like a calculated guy. Like, why be this dumb?
Yeah. I like your idea of like, because obviously the goal is for him to realize that he has to tell them because he needs the same cure or something like that.
Yeah.
And you could do that without having to let him go out and do it himself, do something horrible.
Yeah, put him in a room full of kittens and babies and puppies, and just let him go to town.
Just a package of cuteness that he's supposed to eat the brains of. That's the news, and he hasn't told Liv or anyone that we like we're onto our thing. Mm-hmm. Gabriel doesn't know about Liv to go to her or whatever.
But he'll probably find her somehow.
I guess, right? That's kind of why I was saying that, to be like, if he shows up at the morgue and says like help or something like that, they'll be like, who are you? Not like, oh, you're that guy Blaine told me about.
I ate a homeless man's brain, and he said he saw you once. What?
I started getting visions of the morgue. He said you were a psychic zombie.
Ugh.
So
any
let's
last
see.
licks on this episode?
So Peyton mentions that she doesn't know about, Liv's roommate. Like, I don't know about her. I think a background check is in order.
Yeah,
Ooh, girl.
she jokes about it, but maybe it'll happen after one or two more suspicious things.
If something blows
up.
up.
It says she's blah blah's daughter. What? Which also wouldn't have happened if you just put an employee there and not put your daughter, who's also inside your facility constantly and all this bullshit.
Yep.
So many things.
And
so I did a background check. It appears she was born 20 floors below ground. This building doesn't even go that deep. How is this possible?
There were some blueprints attached to her birth certificate.
Yeah.
And Major, I already said this, but he buys, he goes to buy Utopium from like the kids. I know him from back in Hilton House. Oh shit.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen, or some shit like that.
And goes through, and Major's like, oh, son of fuck, and then but then I guess that's him hitting rock bottom, and he then goes to Liv and says, I need help.
Yeah.
And then they hug, and then they start smooching.
So we're gonna see if he ends up in a halfway house.
He goes to a mental, institution and just talks about zombies.
Yeah. I don't know. This episode for me wasn't a good one.
No.
But it did set up a lot of things that will hopefully make the later episodes better. We do have a longer season to go. This show does suffer for mid-season shitty, and we're hoping it ends strong.
Well, this is episode 4. We're already in the mid-season.
Mid-season started episode 2 in the last season.
So what is happening here? Do we think?
Hopefully by episode 7 it will be good.
So we think that some of these things that are going to get set up are going to be developed in a good way that we like. We're hoping for less drama and more stuff. Maybe everything's just drama.
We're hoping.
Having an existential crisis here. There's a lot of episodes to go. I don't know when or if this is going to turn around and what's going to happen. My only hope is for the longer season to have been a way to allow for like 2 peaks. So like maybe episode 7 or 8 or 10 or something.
Mid-season and then thing.
Yeah.
That could be nice.
Where something happens. Someone either becomes a zombie or dies or something like that. Something happens.
Yeah. All right, guys. Predictions down below. Until next time, don't die in a fire.